Hello, to good morning. Welcome to Dawn Buster's Taste Challenge. Well, I'm running late, 10 minutes, I suppose. I wanted to start at the bottom of the hour, but that was not possible, unfortunately. But anyway, this oh, the dog's barking. This should not be too difficult. Somebody asked me, and I'm going to answer my comments later today. I always answer comments. I just take sometimes a while to get to it. He was saying, why do you do liquor taste challenges in the dark? Well, that's because it's Dawn Busters. I start right at the break of dawn so that by the end of the video, the sun is out, and it's shiny. Now, daylight savings time ruins that because it'll be the wrong time. You say, well, it's 6 o'clock, but it's really only 5 o'clock. See, so it's not supposed to be pitch black at 6 in the morning, unless it's, December 21st or December 31st, but you can't explain it, I guess, if people not gonna listen. Hey, Ronald, macro. All right, anyway, Maison Blanche. I'm gonna start calling you Maison Blanche. Okay. J.W. Dant, introduced in 1836, or should I say the J.W. Dant Company was established in 1836. With Kentucky bourbon whiskey, okay? You can check me on that if you like. Just was checking the trademark data from the U.S. Patent Office, and the first time they used the trademark J.W. Dant in commerce was 1836. Real company. Of course, it was sold to another company. The family Dant didn't want it. Or you see, as you have children and they have children and they have children, if you live a long time, you die, your inheritance is like 100 people. And it's not like you're going to just give it to one child. I mean, you could, because this is not France. And Louisiana got rid of that law also, that French Revolutionary law. But you're going to give it to one child and everybody else going to throw a fit. So what they do, they just sell it. So now it's owned by Heaven Hill, another family-owned company, the Shapiro family. Now, what's going to happen one day with the Shapiro family? Will they start fighting over the company and sell it? I don't know. As time went on, J.W. Dant added a scotch to their portfolio. They added a gin to their portfolio. They added a blended whiskey to their portfolio. They added a rum to their portfolio. They don't make it. They simply sourced it. Hey, you guys in Scotland. That's like a runaway song. Hey, you guys. No, that song is called All Right, You Guys. Okay, so they said, all right, you guys in Scotland, could you make us a scotch and we'll put our name on it? And they say, yeah, as long as we get a cut, it's all good. So Heaven Hill imports this liquid and bottles it in Bardstown, Kentucky. This is not complicated. There's an essay on the back about the history of scotch. If you're waiting in the store line, you don't have to get on your smartphone. Just read that. That'll keep you occupied. The entire history of scotch on the back of a bottle. You say, well, that's JW. Isn't there some other thing with a red letters or some kind of scheme like this bottle design? Yeah, you know there is. Travis Tubb says, thumb up. Now, my friends and enemies, there is no website listing for this aside from product specifications on Heaven Hill. So don't even waste time trying to look it up because you ain't going to find it. You say you sound like you're from the South. I am. I'm so far south, if I go any further, I'll hit the Gulf. I'm only 6 miles from the beach. Okay. Chivas Mizunara. It means water oak. You say, ooh, I bet that whiskey's good being finished in Japanese water oak. Yeah, it is. There's only one little, like Senator Geary said, and The Godfather Part 2. There is one little technical problem, which is that it's only a small portion of this whiskey that's finished in the Mizunara oak. Like maybe, I'm figuring 2%. You said, well, that's a gimmick. They just take a little part of the whiskey blend, they age it in Mizunara oak or finish it for a few months, and then they put this aquamarine gold design on it and upcharge it to $54. And they make it unusually dark with caramel color. Notice I didn't say they did that. I said that's what a person could say. They may be completely wrong. On the other hand, they may be completely right. In my case, I don't really care because I only paid $17.99 for it. Oh, that went psh, pressure built up. The lower it gets, the more gas gets in it, and it pops when you open it. You say you say it was $48. Right. Unless you go to Savannah Discount, which has prices that are unusually strange. Right now, it's $18.99 if they have any left. $18.99 for a $54 bottle of whiskey. I don't understand it. I don't care. I buy it. Why would they have Bushmills Red Bush, which is 23 everywhere, or 21, 23 everywhere, for $9.99? You say, well, it's a small bottle. No, regular bottle in the box. My friend David's like, let's buy a bunch. I said, well, I don't need a bunch. He says, you want a bottle? I said, sure. He bought me a bottle. I paid him back $11, with the, got to pay the 10% tax. So will I go back to Savannah Discount? Not anytime soon, because I got so much back stock now. If I wait 3 years, I'm not missing anything. Aside from all the enormously incredible sales. The only thing I'll miss if I don't go there for the next 3 years is all their enormously incredible sales. But since I got an enormously incredible backstock, I don't need to go. It makes no sense. If you came to this house and looked on the shelf and in the cabinets, you'd say, woof, dude, I'm going to call some numbers so you could get some rehab. I'd say, no. They tried to make me go. I say, look, in about 3 years, I'm going to get a refill. I just got to bring it down, 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 boogie down. I got to go down, down, boogie down. I'm not stupid. I don't get what I don't need unless I just buy it in a frivolous manner. You say, well, you schedule all your drinking out. I do. I have a plan, a game plan for the next 3 years. I know exactly what order I'm going to go in with each rum, brandy, rye, whiskey, and so forth. Beer is no problem because beer, you drink the whole bottle and you move on. You buy this, you buy that, drink. Yeah. All right, so fine. It's not like you can keep it for, you say, well, you can keep Dogfish Head to 120. I know, but you don't open it. I got 2 bottles of Dogfish Head 120. I'm in no rush to drink them because they say you can save it for 10 years. But wait till you see what I bought yesterday. Or I should say David bought for me and I paid him back. I was like, oh, snap. Anyway, I ain't seen this since 2018, if you remember that year. Okay, now on with the challenge, my dedicated viewers. Now you might say, well, all you do is watch stuff. You're dedicated. Whoever said I wasn't? I told y'all I'm mainly a viewer who happens to make videos. You think I got so many videos to do, I have so many to watch, and people are like, why you don't join Hangouts? I said, I don't have time for Hangouts. I'm never finished watching what I put on my watch later list. I'm enjoying Bottle Logic Double Actuator. It's really great. Now see, there's a man who appreciates the good life. Okay, I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm sure it's good. Here we go. On with the show. The dance is lighter. We know that. The dance is lighter. I got to be careful because the Chivas Mizunara are going to be darker. So I'm going to close my eyes now. Not for hate, not for spite, but for scientific exemptual and cantalities. What they call that. Oh, by gosh, by golly. And remember, all I got to do is remember the honey top bread crust. Simple. Honey top bread crust, and you got that thing there. Because I'm gonna be like Chachi. I'm gonna be like 27 years old when I'm in 10th grade. In 1959, but have a 1979 haircut, strangely. You ever notice in 1959, no one had feathered hair, but yet suddenly they did? You say, but those were happy days, old dummy. I used to have So many serious problems with that show. When I was 11, I said, this is crazy. I'm going to watch the Waltons. And I turn it. They're all wearing disco haircuts. I said, oh, no. Remember Ben? His hair was like all feathered. I was like, why doesn't Ben go to a disco in 1940? No honey top bread crust. Honey top bread crust. No honey top bread crust. I say, oh, no age statement. Age 3 is. No age statement. Age 3 is. Cheers to the drinking and tasting. Drinking responsibly and tasting. You know, we all about moderation on this channel. Somebody asked me, do a guzzle video. I said, that'll be the day. Oh, bazam. That's the Chivas. That's the Chivas. Based on the bready, honey top, sourly bread crust situation. You could drink that at Johnny Nucleo's restaurant at the top of the reactor. Remember when they built the skyscraper and they put a nuclear reactor on top of it, and then they put a restaurant on top of the reactor, and then it caught on fire, but it was a mess. Anyway, endeavor to persevere. This is simple, but it's good. I know people who are simple, but they're good. I know some people who are complex and they're not. So you figure which one you'd rather have. I think for $8.99 a liter, this is the greatest Scotch deal on this planet, or in this planet, because some people. Anyway, is it smoky? No. Does it taste like unsweetened breakfast cereal? Interestingly, now that you mention it, it does. Does it have a somewhat of a harsh grain bite? It does. Does it have a lot of bready, doughy single malt character? Actually, no. Surprisingly, for $8.99 a liter. However, there is something adequate about it. You see, it's a utilitarian item. It has a purpose, which is a very base purpose. You say, oh, no, not alchemy now. Not alchemy. You say it's a root cause. Yeah. So it's very elemental. Now on to the other part of the citronellation condylation. Yeah. Would I pay $54 for this? No, I wouldn't personally. Would I pay $17.99? Well, actually, I did. Is this one way better than that one? Yeah. You smoke? Yeah. What's your name? Clay. Bill Clay. You know what I'm saying? So I am the one you warned me of. I like it. I nearly love it. I'm bragging on it like, you know, I'm bragging on it like that picture that said, if you could do it, it ain't bragging. What was his name? He used to do the baseball broadcast. So people are jealous, but that's because they haven't got a lot to say. Hey, that's Chivas. and I'm gonna say it's a letter C. It's got so much more depth of character. The Mizunara gives it some little twinkling of an eye, and I like it, and I would recommend it. And I was glad to watch all the videos about it. And I'm going to do Sazerac whiskeys against this, and I'm going to blame some of you in this room. And so none of them will win, obviously, but then they're all cheap. And then I'm going to double back around. I'll make a U-turn and come right back down the road, and I'm going to come back just like Stonewall Jackson did in 1863 when they went up the road, and the Yankees said, "Where are they?" And then they turned around and went down the road, and they said, "Uh-oh." And no, I'm not going to go ride out on my horse at dusk against advice. I don't even have a horse. My kingdom for a horse. I don't have a horse. So anyway, it wins. Chivas are going to win, but then I got Mezcal. You say, "Oh, I'll be waiting." No, I don't mean Mezcal. I mean Dewar's illegal Mezcal combination when in a team up, like Marvel team up. And I'm going to go right back through all the scotches. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I know it's going to be interesting because that illegal Mezcal is the bomb. Remember, people used to say that in 1993. So that's going to be a fascinating thing. Fascination. I'm going to drink it all day long. Okay. But not really, because I'll run out. Well, J.W. Dant, you did a fine little job, but you obviously got killed because you got beat 55-10. But no big deal because you're not even a good team. You scored 10 points, and what did your coach say? As long as we score, we don't care if Ohio State beats us 55-10. At least we can go back home to Akron and say, hey, we scored 10 points in the fourth quarter when they had the third string in. So that's how that works. C for Chivas. If it says something else, I'm going to lose my you know what. But impossible. Well, some things are too obvious. Apparently, most people cannot realize this. People were screaming and hollering, calling me on the phone Wednesday. What do you think? What do you think? I said, I think I cannot rest. And I was trying to tell them, you ever notice that some things are too obvious? And they were saying to me, but that's not what liars are telling me. I said, but why do you believe every lie that you hear? They said, well, because I'm uneducated and I'm open and I'm closed-minded and I don't endeavor to think about things in a proper way. I said, that's obviously true. So when I wanted to tell them what they wanted to, when they asked me the question and I gave them the answer, they didn't like the answer. I said, why do you ask me questions and then when I give you an answer, you get upset? Oh, because I told you what you didn't want to hear. But why do you call me? Because I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. But anyway, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. What you slurping on, Ron? Okay, so the summation of it is that the Chivas clearly won. It was no actual contest in any real sense of the word. It wasn't an exhibition game, though. It counted. It was just part of the season, non-conference game. They got killed. And I usually go to non-conference games because they're cheaper and they're more interesting. You say, well, Georgia and LSU, Florida and LSU, you know what's going to happen. It's like you know what you're going to see. I like stuff where I don't know what I'm going to see. This is J.W. Dant. I thought it would do a little bit better, actually, but it didn't. So, oh, well, tough. It's not my problem. I don't make the product. But I only paid $8.99 for a liter. So anyway, moral of the story. The moral of the story, you say you have a very psychedelic stream of consciousness approach to these things. I know, but that's been going on for 10 years. The moral of the story is that if you buy something that's really cheap, it's almost certainly going to taste really cheap. And if you buy something that's overpriced, then you're going to feel as though you've been cheated. But if you go to Savannah Discount and get a $54 bottle of scotch for $17.99, you're not going to be angry about it. And that's the moral of the story. What do you think about that? along those lines, and you got it made. So very exciting. Monday's been done. I did Monday on Friday, where everybody was much more agitated. Don't worry, because you're about to get way more agitated in the next few months. But anyway, Tuesday we start in Sazerac versus Chivas Mizunara. I don't know why you would watch, because they're going to lose every time. Every time they will lose. That's a guarantee. That will. So if you want to watch a bunch of videos where I make veiled and oblique statements that aren't so veiled, and if you want to watch a bunch of cheap Sazerac scotches get blown out the water, join me. You know. Next week we're going to do Dewar's. Thank you, David. Dewar's illegal mezcal combo. Now that's going to be fun, because I really, honestly, all this, silliness, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. But I have a feeling I do know how it's going to work out. But I don't want to say too much. Anyway, hey, Beer Hound reviews. What a good stout like chocolate. Is Chivas Regal distilled in Japan? No. Nope. They bought some barrels from Japan. They bought some Mizunara barrels, like probably 2. They put a tiny percentage of the whiskey in the barrels, aged it for who knows how long. Could have been a day, because it's finished, right? You finishing it, it's a day. Then they said they blend it back in and say, ooh, whippity-dee, in Scotland, and they send it to us, and people fall for that and pay $54. Or in my case, they don't fall for it, and they go to Savannah Discount and get it for $17.99. Thank y'all for watching this video production. Now I'm going to watch the news.